Hi, this is Travis Peterson. If you're listening to these words right now, on some level, you've already made the decision to be free of the gambling habit. Congratulations. As you listen to this recording, we'll be communicating this decision to every level of your mind and body. You know, there was once a certain tribe who were renowned for catching monkeys. Now, monkeys, as you know, are very quick and highly intelligent, but they're very greedy too. And this is what the tribe realized when formulating their ideas to trap such smart animals. Now, how they did this was at once very interesting and very simple too. You see, they set upon a tree a small woven basket, which had been tied securely to a branch. Now, this basket was woven strongly and carefully, with a big bulbous round at the closed end and a very narrow opening at the other. Into this basket was put large chunks of the monkey's favorite foods, and by this, the trap was set. In a short time, a monkey came along, saw the basket full of food, and simply stuck his hand into that basket, grabbed onto the biggest piece of food, and at that very moment, the tribal men would leap out of their hiding place and rush for the monkey. Now the monkey was naturally shocked and alarmed at this sudden movement and tried to withdraw its hand from the basket while not wanting to relinquish its grip on the prize. But the monkey, for all his wisdom, didn't realize that by holding on to the food, that his hand was now bigger than the opening in the basket. So he pulled and screamed and cried, but his opened hand gripping the food was simply too big to be withdrawn. Amidst the panic of the moment, the monkey was caught. And this is the ancient art of catching monkeys. But you know, and I know, that if only that monkey had learned to let go of that which he clung to, he would have been free of his now self-imposed burdens. And I'm not sure if you've already discovered that your potential and your ability to change is much greater than you thought in the past, or if it'll be a few more enjoyable moments before you know that to be true. Either way, as you listen attentively to this recording each day, my purpose here is to help you form the belief that you can be free of any self-imposed burdens, that you can let go, to help you access your own inner resources and strengths, to assist you in finding a compelling motivation to let go of the bad decisions of the past and make good decisions in the future, and to help you learn how to relax and deal directly with the stressors that caused you to gamble in the past. Contrary to what you may believe logically, gambling has made sense to you at some level of thinking, or you wouldn't have been doing it. It has served some perceived positive function for you. You may or may not know what this is at a conscious, rational level, and that doesn't really matter. What does matter is that through a process of relaxation and focused concentration, which we can call hypnosis, you can empower your creative mind to find more appropriate and even more effective ways to meet that need for you. Hypnosis is a comfortable state of focused relaxation. This is the optimum state for learning at the creative, often called unconscious level. There is nothing you have to do but sit back comfortably and listen and enjoy. After a while, you don't even have to listen. Your unconscious mind will do all the work for you. Many people are in an adequate trance, and that's what we aim for now. You're relaxed, but maybe you don't know how deeply relaxed you are. But that's quite all right. The first thing people do when they go into trance is find a comfortable place to sit or lie down, some place where you're not likely to be disturbed for a while. There are many things to notice as you settle into rest here, and yet none of them have anything at all to do with your purpose for being here. What could be infinitely more interesting and important to you right now is what's going on inside. Feelings, sensations, images, and thoughts. There could even be some tension or apprehension, and perhaps you'll let your conscious mind attend fully to any tension or discomfort you may have, while your unconscious learns how to make you more comfortable. And what is it like to be completely relaxed? Everybody knows how to relax. Every infant comes into the world with the ability to relax completely. A tiny baby can relax in unfamiliar surroundings. A baby can relax in bright light, in noisy, busy places. When the time is right, and it's appropriate to do so now, a little baby can close the eyes, tune out the outside world, and go inside to the safety, security, and comfort that is within. And with your eyes now comfortably closed, you may begin to notice the difference between your knowing and your thinking. Because the things you've been knowing and the things you've been thinking can lead to so many great misunderstandings about what you're about to understand very well. Which means that you can know without thinking and think well without knowing exactly how you know so well about the way you understand all those old misunderstandings in new ways. So you can just let all those old misunderstandings float away. Because the sooner you let go of what you've been misunderstanding, the sooner you've turned things around, so that you're knowing without thinking a greater overstanding of those things that caused you frustration in the past. Because now, you might as well just relax into transformation in compelling positive ways. Like when you had a very interesting conversation in a quiet cafe. You sipped on a warm cup of something and listened to the calming, relaxing music. You were gazing peacefully out the window, idly watching the people as they passed by, feeling the gentle rays of the sun begin to awaken something inside you. Because as you became more and more comfortable, and just sort of drifted along with the music, you listened to the sound of my voice, and your mind really began to focus in. And each one of us has our own way of becoming completely absorbed in something interesting and fascinating. And isn't it interesting how the words, the sentences, and paragraphs unfold into characters, experiences, and dreams? And it's almost as if you could just step into a different reality. And as you're doing that, hours might seem to slip by like minutes, the outside world fading off into the distance. You know it's there. You know you could respond if it were necessary. Yet for the moment, there's something more compelling inside. Your story. Some have said it's like being here and not being here. Like being in two places at the same time. And then you noticed I was telling a story. And as the dappled stallion grew older, it felt stronger. But as the horse grew older, it felt more and more burdened. And as it became tougher, so the loads in its pannier became heavier, so that more rocks and stones could be carried to the top of the hill. Once there, he was made to squat so that the pannier slid off his back to the ground. This hurt his muscles and legs very much. His legs were always bruised and sore. The castle was taking an eternity to build, and the horse knew that it would be completed after his own lifetime, that was becoming shorter and shorter by the day. The grass was greener on the other hills that he could see from his elevated vantage point that was higher, but this place was barren from all the dust that always rained down. Here his food was dry and coarse, apart from the few pieces of grass that grew on the side of the winding track that he had to plod upwards day after day after day on his way up to the summit. However, he never got very much of this fresher food before being whipped into taking more steps. Even pretending to be lame, His short breaks became merely brief moments of time before he was whipped again. His hooves were sore from the constant grinding of the sharp gravel on the path, and often little trails of blood would mark where he had limped under the huge weight he had to carry. On the way back down the hill, the horse had to bear the massive weight of the man who had whipped him to climb up the hill a little while before. The horse had been currency in settling a gambling debt with its breeder. That man had raced horses for so many years, but had lost so much money in his impotent attempts to become rich. Ironically, had he not lost so much, he would have been a very wealthy man. His spur to win the pot that he said was so big that he could buy his happiness was the very thing that drove him to misery. It was the same feeling that the horse now endured from the lash of his handler. Pain in being driven to climb faster with an ever-increasing burden with no return of satisfaction or achievement. One day, the panniers were so overloaded that the horse stumbled as he climbed. Nearing the top, the horse was frightened by one of the stonemasons who was ranting and raving at the slowness of the delivery of the rocks. He wanted the bonus that he'd been promised if he built faster. Blaming the horse because there was no other target, he ran at it, brandishing his hammer. The horse reared into the air, kicking out with its front hooves. The mason was knocked out cold. Aware of the consequences, the horse reared and kicked harder at the air. The panniers slid off, their contents crushing the cruel handler. Unencumbered but scared, the horse bolted. He ran down the track, jumped the fence, and headed for the green hills. Driven by fear, he kept running for a day and a night before he collapsed from exhaustion and, not knowing where he was, or what was about to happen the next day, drifted into a deep sleep. And as the horse slept, he dreamt a dream about a remarkable man who traveled all over the world. The traveler was fascinated about a story about a man who wanted to know the secret of life. He journeyed far and wide to find an enlightened master. Eventually, he found a master and asked him, "What is the secret of life?" And when the master gently spoke, it was as though a light was turned on in his mind, and his heart was filled with joy. And he just settled in, became even more comfortable, and listened intently to these words. Every day, you can find yourself becoming more and more aware of the wonderful person that you are and your amazing ability to make permanent, positive changes in your life. I'm not sure if you can feel that feeling of pride now that comes from making this powerful decision for you, or if you'll begin to feel it even stronger as you continue to make even greater progress in the way that suits you best. But it sure is going to be interesting to find out, isn't it? Imagine the compelling, positive benefits of sharing your unique gifts and talents with the world around you, so that you agree even more enthusiastically with these suggestions and ideas as you discover more about yourself. Isn't it nice to know that you already have everything you need inside? I know that in the past, gambling helped you in many ways, even if you don't know exactly how. However, there are other ways to achieve all the good things that those old ways used to get you. During this trance, I'd like the genius part of your unconscious to find new ways for you to obtain all the good things that the old ways used to do for you. your conscious mind doesn't need to know immediately what these new ways are, because you can easily benefit from new ways of doing things without knowing how you discover them. And you can make these changes now and discover new ways of achievement are possible as you integrate these new ways into your behavior. I'd like to ask the whole of your mind to check that they're completely acceptable to you and can be used whenever it's appropriate. Now, what if you could now view your life as a series of successes, each one building easily upon the previous? Just like you've successfully started your day today, you successfully supported yourself all these years and provided all the necessities of life. You've learned a great deal, and you've taught many other people what you've learned. The fact that you've already succeeded in so many areas of your life simply means that now you can successfully overcome this challenge. I wonder if you've already become aware of that certain feeling of your powerful unconscious now being transformed to accommodate your new positive lifestyle, which means that you're now acting completely as if you've already achieved your healthier, more positive, and more fulfilling lifestyle, with all the resulting positive behaviors and beliefs completely natural for you. It's just who you are. And the best part about it is that you don't even have to be aware of how your unconscious mind is being reprogrammed, so you can just remember to forget, and forget to remember all about that old thing you used to do, but simply become aware of it as a slight tingling sensation of change that begins in the tips of your fingers and the ends of your toes, and gently moves into the core of your being, acting and thinking in much more positive ways now. And making these good decisions is just so natural for you and feels so much better. Because the more you can look and laugh at the problems that you had, the more you can begin to really consider what's worth feeling bad about. Think about being stuck in traffic. Think about when you look and you see that the sheets in your bed aren't straight. All those things, the little things that you had inside your life, that you were willing to put bad feelings inside your own body. And each of them, I want you to take a deep breath in and just breathe out and giggle. Let it go. Forget about it. It wasn't a good decision. No more. No more pleasure. No more excitement. No more. No more. Because the more you know, the better you're going to feel about all the things you don't understand yet. In this state, the state of learning, which is much like the state north of Oregon and south of Washington. The state that doesn't limit itself to a map, but creates new maps inside your mind. And use these maps instead. Because you're free to reject or not accept those old maps as you see fit. It's your life, and you can live it any way you want to make good decisions now. And I wonder how much excitement and how much pleasure you can get from your continued growth and learning. Your mind is the most advanced biocomputer in the world and will use its genius to help you integrate the most positive strategies, so you automatically feel compelled to deal with the challenges of your life directly. To feel good for no reason at all, because you're alive and it's your birthright to feel good. And there are some things that we find ourselves compelled to do automatically, like dressing before we go out and smiling at people we really like. And you will feel motivated as powerfully as that to enjoy making good decisions. You will truly take pleasure in the good decisions you make, and so you already feel better about yourself. So if any of your old habits try to lead you towards that old thing you used to do, you will ask yourself, what do I really want? Because you can learn to take care of your emotional needs directly. Naturally, you'll find yourself making these good decisions, and as you do, you'll notice that you really love and accept yourself more and more. And maybe you can recall something you've made a firm decision to let go of in your life. It could be a person that you didn't want to be with anymore. It could be an old way of thinking that you just let go of. It could be a place of work that you decided wasn't working for you. Go ahead and make that experience into a picture in your mind. See yourself there, having made this firm decision. Now step into the picture. Remember how you were breathing then, and breathe that way now. Look around and see the sights. Hear the sounds and feel all these powerful feelings of conviction and freedom that result from letting go of that old thing you used to do. Now, you may have thought the reason you're listening to this is because you want to be free of that old habit. Well, that's just the reason your conscious mind gave you. The real reason you're listening to this today is that you're taking back control of a part of your life that's been out of control for a long time. Nothing and no one has the right to control you. Not your friends, not your mother or father, not the government or the media. Nothing and no one has the right to control you, least of all those villainous cheaters who run the casinos. Those bastards who got rich profiting off your hard work and stealing your pride and your inner peace and all those things that meant the most to you. Never again, you say. Never again. Because you're taking back control and you know that nothing and no one has the right to control you. In fact, you stubbornly refuse. You simply refuse to even step into a casino. You refuse to place a wager or a bet on anything other than your faith in yourself. You refuse to be controlled ever again by anyone or anything. You are the master of your destiny, and you are the maker of your dreams, and you claim your birthright as the creator of your life. You are now in control. And as you continue to feel this conviction, this firm decision, I'd like you to imagine yourself at some point in the future, at a point of decision. It could be when you're driving home, or maybe when you're feeling lethargic or bored, or it could be a time when you're feeling a bit stressed. Now, imagine and feel yourself making the good decision, the very best decision. Imagine and feel yourself creatively meeting all your needs in a wonderfully positive way, meeting your need for excitement, meeting your need for relaxation, meeting your need for connection, meeting your need for significance, meeting your need for contribution, and meeting your need for growth, all in the very best ways. Now, I don't know all the positive ways that your unconscious will help you in the days, weeks, and months to come. I'm not sure if that means that you'll naturally begin to focus your mind on other things, or if you'll decide to incorporate some light exercise, or perhaps some meditation as a positive ritual each and every day. I'm not sure exactly how you'll structure your life in ways that get you more of what you really want. And you may not know right now, but that's just fine, because you can know without thinking about how you're understanding old misunderstandings in these wonderful new ways. The next day, the man set off back to his own country, and as he was walking, he realized that he couldn't actually remember the enlightened master's words. But that it didn't matter, because he understood that when you relax and accept, you are valuable and unique. You're free to do your best each and every day. And when the horse awoke, he was aware of other horses looking at him. He got to his feet and stared back. "Who are you?" one of the horses asked. "I'm a pack horse who has escaped my masters," he replied. "But you're a racing horse. You're built for speed rather than for bearing loads. Are you that creature that we've seen on the hill building the new castle?" "That is me. That was my job, and I did it as well as I was able, despite the man with the whip." The other horses nodded sympathetically. "Who are all of you?" he asked. "We are free spirits. We run. We eat the fresh and lush grass. We enjoy being horses rather than the tools and instruments of others. Would you like to join us?" Yes, I would. But who carries the whip here? What do I have to do?" You have to do but one thing. Understand that your life is about recognizing what you are. You are a racehorse, and you should run your own race. You have been a beast of burden, a beautiful creature that allowed yourself to be abused and treated cruelly. Today, your true life begins. The loads you carried have been taken from you. The past has gone into the past. The future is what's in front of you. You left your burden in that cruel place where you were trapped. Now, at last, you are free. And then, as you slowly regained your awareness, you looked around the cafe and you realized how completely absorbed you were in that story. You felt different, as if something had shifted inside, like a new sense of freedom and inner peace. As you looked out the window, the sun had shifted to a brilliant sunset in the sky, and the streets were much more peaceful than before. Feeling relaxed, you stood up, feeling lighter somehow, more confident about yourself. Like the feeling of having a wonderful dream, and thinking back, but unable to remember what the dream was all about. We said our goodbyes, and you went on your way. Because just as you can dream these wonderful dreams, you can also wake up into the magnificence of your life. And as you walked towards that sunset, with each step you felt more alert, more energetic, more alive, and more grateful. That's right. And you can take all the time you need to open your eyes now, with positive changes intact, ready and willing to live your life better than before.